If you are a small YouTuber or you're interested in starting your own YouTube channel, I'm sure you have a goal behind it, whether it be for a business, to increase your social following, or you love to make videos and share them with the world. Is it easy? Is there anything you should know before starting one? Are there any tips? In this video, I'll share them all with you. YouTube is a journey that I decided to embark seriously about 6 months ago. I've always loved to make videos, share my ideas and thoughts, and to encourage and motivate others to improve themselves. I promised myself to not stop posting videos, and with that, there's several things that I've learned in this short 6 months. Expectation is a motivation killer. Before we start a YouTube channel, I'm sure you will have some sort of expectation of it. You're going to hit the 100,000 subscribers, thousands of dollars every month in ad revenue, and hopefully quit your full-time corporate job. It's good to dream big, we should, but to expect that it will happen in your first couple of videos or after a few weeks or months is going to kill your motivation. We have to accept the fact that it'll take not just a few videos, but probably hundreds of them, and years of work before we can see any real result. It's not going to happen after you post that video that you have spent weeks making, thinking that it'll be the one that will bring you to virality. It'll probably happen for the video that you least expect to, but it won't happen if you keep expecting that it'll come soon, eventually letting that disappointment end your YouTube journey. Don't get your expectations too high. There are many people talking about the law of attraction, where it encourages you to imagine yourself to have already gotten millions of subscribers and making a huge living off YouTube. By constantly imagining this future of yours, it's said that you attract that future. It sounds good and all, but you have to understand this. It goes somewhat together with your expectations. By constantly imagining yourself succeeding, you're expecting that future to come, but you didn't factor in the time frame. You'll constantly be asking yourself, when will the day come? Why am I not getting subscribers fast enough? And eventually, you'll give up before the day actually comes. I agree with this mindset of the law of attraction in my YouTube journey, but there's one thing that I've learned about it, is that thinking about that future doesn't attract that future, but rather the opportunities. By constantly thinking about that impending future, you'll become more sensitive about opportunities when you come across them that can help you reach that goal. Upon such opportunities, you'll constantly be pouncing on them. This action of yours to jump onto every opportunity that you come across to advance your channel is what's going to help you reach that goal, and not by simply imagining it while lying on your bed. The next thing that I've learned is to stay consistent. This tip has been thrown around a lot by everyone, but no one actually takes it seriously. It's one of those underrated tips that actually works, but hard to follow through. You have been posting consistently for a couple of months, but have yet to see any real result. You thought to yourself that this is a complete waste of time, and it's time to quit since you have already been consistent the past couple of months with no result. That is not being consistent. The whole idea of being consistent is to never stop. As the saying goes, if you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. The moment you stop, it means that you are not consistent. The thing about staying consistent is that it's actually not that hard if you think about it. You don't have to go all out and post a video every single day. All you need to do is to find a regular posting schedule that fits your lifestyle and never stop. It can be twice a week or as little as once a week. Post it on the same day every week and just don't stop posting. You may be thinking, how long should you do this for until you can see results? It may take months or years. It doesn't matter. No matter how long it's going to take, just don't stop. Next thing I've learned is that it's okay to not know what kind of video you should post right off the bat. You may not know what's your niche or what kind of format your video should be in. Should it be a talking head video with B-rolls, a faceless channel, a PowerPoint slide format? It doesn't matter. It's okay to not figure out everything in the beginning. I've spent weeks before I started my channel thinking about the format my self-improvement channel should be in, and I wish that I would have just started straight away regardless of whether I figure it out or not. The most important thing is to just start your channel and figure it out along the way. Throughout these 6 months, I've changed the way I present my ideas and thoughts several times, eventually reaching one that I'm happy with. If I didn't just start this channel despite not figuring it out, I would not have reached this point where I've already posted hundreds of videos including YouTube shorts and live streams. Another thing that I've learned in this 6-month YouTube journey is to always seek small improvements after posting each video. It doesn't have to be a huge improvement. It can be a new editing technique, getting better with your editing programs, improve the way you present your ideas, pronounce your words properly. There are so many things that can be improved. Eventually, your very first video is going to look so different compared to your 100th video, and your viewers will definitely notice it. One misconception that many people have is that they think that they have to improve their next video by a mile. Not only will that get too time consuming to make those improvements, but also exhausting to keep up, eventually leading to you quitting your journey. One other thing I've learned that accepted was to move on after each video. I have this habit of constantly looking back at my older videos and seeing what I can change, literally. If I found a way to improve my titles, thumbnails, and descriptions, I will feel obligated to go through all my older videos and improve them. It makes sense to do this, but the problem with that is that I spend an abnormal amount of time going through all my older videos to make that change. If I found a new way to improve my titles, I'll make that change to all my videos. Few weeks later, I found another way to improve and I'll do the same thing over again. What this does is that you'll not necessarily bring about the result you want because it messes up the YouTube algorithm, especially if your video is already getting views daily, resulting in your video not getting any views at all after the change. You'll also be wasting a lot of time and effort to make these changes to your older videos, when you should be spending the time and energy to improve your next video instead. Learn your mistakes and just move on. Stop looking back. Next, thumbnails and titles are the way to go. I'm not saying that your content isn't important, but you have to realize that if your thumbnails and titles are not interesting enough to entice people to even click onto your video, no matter how valuable the information you provide, no one will watch it. At least in the beginning of your YouTube journey, you should spend more time and effort to make your thumbnails aesthetic and stand out, while also phrasing good titles before you seek more editing techniques to make your video more interesting. You may think that it's not productive at all to spend so long on such a small thing, and you should quickly skim through this process, but that's far from the truth. If you have a bad thumbnail and title, even if you have spent weeks on the content of your video, no one will watch it if they don't even click onto your video in the first place. Eventually, you'll be discouraged quickly because you'll be wondering why no one appreciates your video after you have put in so much effort into it, and probably quit before seeing any result. Bad thumbnails and titles only works for famous YouTubers because they have already built a strong community. For us small YouTubers, don't neglect your thumbnails and titles. The next thing I've learned is to not be afraid to experiment. This is probably the best time to try out as many new things as possible, whether it be a new title format, new thumbnail art, different niche, or different delivery of your content. If you have yet to start your YouTube channel, the most important thing is not to figure out everything right from the get-go, but to start and take action. It doesn't matter if you have figured it all out. After you have started your channel, just post whatever that you want, regardless of the niche. Experiment with all the things that you are interested to try in, figure out what works and doesn't, and sooner or later, you'll figure it all out before niching down. I'm not saying that you can't experiment when you've already gotten a strong community, but it's recommended to not experiment too much at that point, otherwise you risk having the community that follows your previous content to stop following you altogether, because that wasn't what they initially subscribed for. Here's another game-changing tip that I've learned that made posting videos consistently so much easier. Do each stage of your editing in bulk. For example, spend the first day thinking about good titles for your next 3 to 5 videos, the next day or two on all your thumbnails, followed by the script writing on the next day, filming, then lastly, the bulk editing. This would save so much time, especially if you have many things to set up during filming. You only need to set up all of it once for the next 3 to 5 videos, instead of doing it for each video every single time. You'll find that it's easier to gain momentum to complete each stage as compared to working on a single video each time. I used to work on one video at any one given time, and I'm always finishing it at the very last minute, which led me to think how most YouTubers are able to sustain this cycle multiple times without being burnt out. The next thing I've learned is to pay attention to your analytics. This can be difficult for small YouTubers who do not have much data to even work with, but there are still some basic data that you can use that will help you a lot. Your click-through rate and views. If you have been posting regularly, you may notice that some videos seem to perform significantly better than others, but you may not know whether it's due to your thumbnail, your title, or your content that's helping you gain that significant boost in views, especially if you have done significant improvements to all three in that one single video. What you can do is to experiment each variable for the next few videos. Use the same thumbnail style that you did while keeping your title and content the same as before. The idea is to isolate each variable and see which is the one that helped you. Once you figure out the key variable, you'll be able to know what the audience actually wants for you to dive deeper into it. The very last thing that I've learned and would like to share with all of you is also the most important one. Don't let other people's comments affect you. Many people who did not try to start their own YouTube channel thinks that life as a content creator is easy. All you need to do is film something and post onto YouTube. This is especially so for the older generation, where they think that it's something people who can't study would do. But it's only after you've started your own channel that you realize that it's not as easy as it seems. You are the scriptwriter, the cameraman, the editor, the audio technician, the data analyst, and so on. You are carrying multiple hats simply by starting your own channel, and it's common to have days where you are more stressed and burnt out compared to your own corporate job. While you're embarking on this journey, you'll learn many hurtful and judgmental comments from your close friends and family. It can seem daunting and discouraging to hear such comments from your close ones, but you have to realize that this journey that you're embarking is for yourself. You're doing it because you want to, and it wouldn't make much sense if you were to let other people's comments stop you from doing what you want. In these 6 months, I've learned so many things, and I'll definitely be learning more down the road. It's easy to stop your YouTube journey if you have yet to see any significant results. It seems like you're not making any progress at all. But trust me, no matter how slow it is, just keep going, don't give up, and you have already traveled 1,000 miles.